All right, cool. These videos have been a long time coming. I've always wanted to start a business. I tried once a handful of years ago, didn't go too well. Ended up wasting a lot of money, making a lot of mistakes. Chances are I'm going to do it again. Hopefully not. Planning a bit differently this time, and I'll probably go into exactly what happened with the last product or project and why it failed, and then going to work on fixing it for this one. I'm currently getting everything set up. So these are going to be very informal, just long form videos that I'm recording and I'm going to upload on my channel. I'm not exactly sure how that structure is going to go. I'll probably clip good parts out of it. So, you'll see those actually on the channel kind of promoted rather than these just set up pseudo streams. I'm not live streaming it just because I need to cut out sections where I'm like signing up for products with my personal information or credit card information, stuff like that, and I don't know logistically how to figure that one out yet. When I tried to get Blur to work in OBS, which is what I use to record video, it just crapped out everything. So I'm actually using Streamlabs now, which is really strange, since I'm not even live streaming, which is what that tool is for. But I'm setting up the stream, gonna get things going. Trying to create the background here for the Streamlabs, which is what you'll see here. And I was having ChatGPT use this and create a secondary image, which is this one. So just bear with me. Yeah, again, this is going to be a really informal recording. The purpose of this channel is really to start looking at business, but hopefully taking it in a more interesting way. I think that business is really stuffy. I think it's overly complicated and it really doesn't have to be. My background's in sales. I talk to people all day, and just having normal conversations with people by removing stupid acronyms that no one likes using and that are annoying to understand helps. And then I just want to take this from really high level of exactly what I'm doing, starting from ground zero, 0 followers on YouTube, Instagram, no traction on my website because I haven't really pushed anything there. I haven't even set up the LLC yet, which I'll be doing today. I've actually been waiting to set up the LLC today until I was actually ready to do the recording. I had to rebuild the PC because my last one was getting a bit hotter than I wanted, and I don't want to have to buy a new computer anytime soon because they're so damn expensive right now. Clearly have enough equipment to get things going, but yeah, just stay tuned. It's a lot of business stuff coming. This long form video might have me being quiet or not playing music or kind of whatever's going on in the background because it's pretty boring. I might actually put music through my headphones here, so if it's silent in this long form video, just bear in mind what this is. This is not an edited final cut piece to publish to the YouTube. It'll all be published because I want everything to be trackable, starting from zero and getting wherever it's going. Maybe it's bankruptcy, maybe it's a new motorcycle or something. I know which one of those I want it to be, but yeah, I hope it's fun. And any questions, let's get things going. And yeah, sorry, any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll have a lot of contact information, ways you can reach me. I want to start reaching out to companies. I've been getting things set up for a while with various affiliates and sort of partnerships with the company because I want to start recording a lot of product videos to say, this XYZ tool, maybe it's a planning tool, and this is kind of how you use it for some use cases. I'll probably be setting those up, which is why, yeah, you can see it here. So I have 2 windows set up here. I'm going to change the background so the layout looks better, but yeah, I really want to make business less complicated. I think it's overly complicated and it's unnecessary. And it really bothers me just on a personal level. Probably a tism of sorts, but we'll see. Anyway, yeah, as I said, when I'm doing something, I'll explain what I'm doing, but it's probably going to be a lot of quiet video until then. Hopefully this is interesting. I'll look at getting some background music in the future, something kind of that's just plain, that's not going to get me DMCA struck or anything like that, but I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I really haven't planned it too much. I kept over planning for like 2 years to get this going, and I'm finally in a position where I can do it. So yeah, let's see what happens. Anyway, what I'm doing now, I'm currently making my Streamlabs recording setup a little bit better. As I said, I'm working on these two images right here. I'm using this as my background image now, which is something I got from, I think it was Unsplash. Really cool image. I've put it in Chat GPT because I haven't transferred everything over to Claude yet. Claude does seem like the better tool. Maybe I'm wrong. I know Claude does some really cool stuff right now. I've used Claude in the past and haven't been the biggest fan because it was really slow to do searches, and it looks like they've sped it up just from the testing I've been doing today. The second screen here is going to be just a list of tasks I want to do, and I'm going to use AI to help me plan out my activities. I'm also going to use AI to help me prep recording information, maybe have a task list there for me to complete each day. Going to be going into Replit, which you can see tools I've built here in the background. Not a software developer. I can get apps going. I did some web design a long time ago, built a couple websites with it, and recently I've done the same, and I've been able to just recreate everything myself, so I don't need to hire developers. That being said, that's probably a longer conversation on why my first business failed, which I'll go into in a later date. But right now, just setting up the stream. Audio's working. I know it's working. I've tested it. If I have to re-record this, I will probably cry because I went through an hour plus recording in the past and then the audio wasn't working at all, which was really annoying. But let me get the stream set up and then we'll actually get the LLC form for this company. I need music though for me, so you get to hear quiet nothing, I guess, until I get set up later. Yeah, I guess while I'm doing this, I'll kind of explain just some stuff about my setup. I'm using the Shure SM7B microphone. It's nice. It's very nice. I don't think it's necessary. I have it because I've used it in the past. I wanted to stream video games, and that was a whole ordeal that I don't know. I'm not opposed to it. I'm also not the biggest fan of it just because of the amount of time it takes to do it. But yeah, I love playing games. If I could monetize that, I would. I think same issue with everything is you need an audience before anyone's going to watch you just blindly playing a game. I don't play first-person shooters like that, or I do, but I'm not good at them, so I don't know that anyone would actually watch that. And I'm more like a Diablo, Path of Exile kind of guy. Less Diablo, more Path of Exile, because it's just such a better game in just about every way. Anyway, all right, Streamlabs. Need to calm the ADD. Holy hell. All right, as I said, I'm getting music going, so bear with me. Let's get it coming out of the right channel. Sorry, as I said, I'm all over the place right now. I'm just trying to get my head straight on what I need to do every day and get the stream set up so it's running properly. I Said before, I have a DSLR with a lens on it, which is recording. Absolutely do not need that. The webcams are really good these days. I don't know that DSLRs are necessary, although the really good webcams are equally as expensive as getting an older DSLR. So, I mean, figure out what you want. I also like taking pictures. I think it's a lot of fun when I travel for work. So, I have a couple good cameras, but you could definitely just do fine with any of the webcams. I might test a bunch of them and do like product tests in the future. That might be interesting for people too. I know I have some equipment and I could probably get it set up. I have more than enough computers here to actually get things going. In terms of mic, as I said, I've got a Shure SM7B. Again, I don't think you need it. I don't have it at my desk. Yes, I do have it right now. The SMB setup's really expensive. Really expensive. So when I got the mic, it was like $399, but you have to buy all these extra things because it's an XLR mic, which means it uses an XLR cable. Actually uses two. One to connect the mic to like a sound box thing, which I have the Focusrite Scarlett one that takes two inputs, so that if I start meeting or doing interviews in the future, like in person here, that I can hook two mics up to it. And then you have to have an amplifier because this mic doesn't have one built in. And anyway, the whole setup ends up costing like $800. I would not do this again. I just had all this equipment lying around because I wasted money trying to set up a gaming stream a long time ago. And the time investment just wasn't enough. Yeah, I can go into that later also. But essentially, that's the audio setup you hear. It's probably why the audio sounds so clear. It is really good quality. It's just really expensive to get going. I bought this. Let me see if I'm showing you the right thing. Yep, that looks, can you see it? Here. So this is a Maono. God, I don't even remember which one it is, and it doesn't say it on here. This one was super cheap. It's a full metal cage. It's got this metal part here. I bought it so that I could record stuff while I go on the road in case I do reviews. I got a whole setup going to work with an old Mac laptop I have. This mic cost about $40. It's a bit tinier, a bit more metallic sounding than kind of the warm sound you get out of this microphone, which appears to have hair all over it, which is kind of gross. But it's my rabbit's hair and he's adorable, so it is what it is. But yeah, this microphone, really good, gets good quality sound for like $40-50. I think they have a newer version, which is like 100, and you literally just plug USB-C into the back of it and you'll get pretty good quality sound, and it's cheap, unlike these. So if you travel with this and it gets lost or you step on it or something else spazzy happens, it's not going to be the end of the world to replace it. Whereas replacing something like this is, to say you'd be mad would be an understatement, I suspect. Yeah, so again, I'll do product review stuff in the future about the equipment I'm using and some changes I'd make, because I'd really love to have an on-the-road setup, so when I'm traveling for work, if I have to, that I could still do these recordings. I want to post, ideally I'll do one a day. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to at first be 1 or 2 recordings, which is going to be these long-form videos cut up into individual videos, maybe 15 or 20, 30 minutes, probably product reviews, looking at like software products, kind of looking at a use case and building something around them. So like planning tools, or maybe using these AI things for people that don't use it to see how to use it. It's all really easy to get going. It's just figuring out where to go. And like I said before, kind of tired of wasting time saying I'm going to start something. So I'm actually just starting it now, and we're going to see how it goes. But yeah, okay. Back to, which screen am I on? Yeah, okay, music's going. Okay, cool. Yeah, one of the other things with my setup, I have headphones. With this mic, I don't know that you necessarily need them, but with mics like this, you probably will. Again, cheaper mic. The reason you have headphones is so that you don't get a lot of sound coming out of the speakers when you're trying to record, and then it like echoing in here because it sounds like crap. So I have it going through headphones. It's really good to do if you're like talking to someone else, and I have headphones when I'm on business calls anyway, and a mic when I'm on business calls also. I definitely recommend it. Doesn't have to be nice like these. You can get cheaper ones if you want, but these just sound dope, like really cool. So I don't remember what they are either. they had a really cool uwu like anime image on them. That's all I know. I checked a bunch of product reviews and, decent bass, good quality sound, and they go behind the ears, so I don't have like some dumbass cable. Well, I still got dumbass cables, I guess, but whatever. Yeah. Playlist going, recording going, awesome. Let's get my Streamlabs set up. Cool. All right, we'll go with this for now. This one will zoom in the future so you can see more. I don't have any text that needs to show here yet, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, we're going to have the AI stuff in the background if you need to see what's here. I'll zoom in, I guess. How's that? Whatever, it's good enough. I kind of want to get things going. Ignore the background here. As I said, I have a rabbit who's awesome, and he loves Amazon bags, so every time I get those, I leave them for him to tear up and act like an absolute hellhound to my house with, which is why there's trash. Where's my thumb? Trash in the background there. But you'll see him. He might run around, he might not. He's pretty cool. Cool. Okay. Done. All right. As I said, I'm setting up a company. I have an idea for what I want, and I have a website that I've built, which I need to work on. I'll probably work on that on this stream and kind of get all the foundation set up for everything I want to build. I work in sales. That's who I am as a person. I've worked in tech sales for 20 years or so now. I don't know everything, but I've been sorely disappointed by a lot of the companies I've worked with in the past. Not because the companies themselves are bad, but I think the sales industry has changed a lot from when I started. My first sales roles, I guess, my B2B, which just means business to business. God, this music's loud. Cool. Can't even hear myself think. As I was saying, my sales background was always for B2B companies, which is business to business. When I first joined, I was working for companies, big companies, IBM, Red Hat, which ironically became IBM, I believe, when IBM bought them out. And companies would put a really big emphasis on sales training. and kind of tooling and getting things up and running. Now I don't see much sales training going on. I recorded a number of videos in the past that I've not posted just because, I don't know, I've watched them again and they're super cringe. And so I'm just trying to make better content now that I think is going to be more useful for everyone. I would like to do sales training at some point just to give people a baseline of kind of what to do. I really don't think anything's that complicated. But again, I had the pleasure and privilege of getting training from companies before they used to just hire entry-level staff and expect them to be able to do everything themselves. It is what it is. I don't have a multi-billion-dollar company, so clearly they're doing something right that I'm not. Hopefully I can help people. I think that's the big reason that I want to start anything, is to kind of help people. And the purpose of this is just to show the process of getting a business going. Maybe it's successful, maybe it's not. But if it's not successful, I want to learn from it. Interestingly, actually, I would love to speak to anyone who started a business and failed. I really want to get a podcast going to just interview people who've tried to get something going. If you've tried to start a business, it has failed. I just want to know what you started, what you were trying to accomplish, what the process was, and why it failed. Maybe if it's successful, I'd love to speak to you also. But I think there's 1,000,001 podcasts talking to people who've created, various products and stuff that was useful. But no one really talks about the failure stories and kind of why that happens. I'm going to talk about mine and exactly what happened there. Full responsibility is on me for that one, as everything is. I'm responsible for my life as an adult, and I should have known better. But again, I learned from that mistake, and I'm hoping not to make it again. Why am I doing this? I think it's good to have a network to reach out to when you're starting a project. I want to be able to bounce feedback off of people. I think it's really hard to get a feedback mechanism going that's realistic, where people aren't just going to blow smoke up my ass if no matter what I say. I actually want to know if I'm building something that's dumb or if it exists already. I don't know what I don't know, though. So I guess that's the purpose of this podcast, or this whole foray or venture that I'm going on now. But yeah, be cool to have an audience of people who want to start businesses in the future. And if I can take anything that I know or have learned through my trainings in the past and help people in the future, I'd say that's definitely a goal of this. Okay, enough random rambling and just nonsense in general. The first thing I need to do, starting a business, as I said, I already have a product in mind that I want to sell. I'm going to show that later. I need to finish working on that. So I'm going to kind of show where it is now. I'm going to do that at a later date. I think the first step is actually getting the business formed so that when I reach out to companies to provide a service or product, they can say, or I can say, this is my business entity, this is how I accept payment, and have everything structured properly. I don't want to set a business up incorrectly and, get sued in the future or some nonsense. Again, I don't know how that side of it works, but we'll kind of see. Yeah. Okay, cool. God, this is so random. I feel like I should be more prepared for everything, but I felt like that for years, and I keep learning new things, and I keep thinking, just get started and see where it goes. So here we go. Forming an LLC. I need one. I don't have one yet. I live in Texas. I need to get one going, as I said, to reach out to customers. So we're going to go through this process. I'm probably going to put a black screen up, or I don't know how I'm going to do this so that you can't see like my credit card information when I'm paying for stuff. But yeah, again, just learning as we go. Oh, okay. I'm using Zen Business to start this up. I know there's a bunch of companies that do LLC formations. I know that you can do it directly with the state. These things are really helpful. Tools like this kind of combine a lot of different things together, so I don't have to do it myself. Getting an EIN set up and all this sort of stuff. So I'm just getting it to be safe, I guess. Anyway, state. All right, so here's the first AI question. All right, hold on. I'm actually... Let me redo this. I'm going to use a different browser that doesn't have so much information like pre-saved in it. Okay, I'm trying to share the window, but because I have multiple Google Chrome stuff set up, it doesn't look like you can share multiple different Google Chrome windows. I don't know why, but let me set this up differently. Screen capture. Cool. So instead of sharing a window, which I was doing in the left, I'm just sharing my desktop. All right, that looks good. So now you can see this, and you can see what's behind it. Cool. Zen Business out of here. Form LLC. And again, personal information I'm going to get rid of later, but it's going through that same process. So it's state of Miami, Texas, business name. I don't know what's available in my state. That is definitely getting blocked out. Tech business, tech consultant. Does it matter? Hold on, let's see. Claude, does this matter? Tech consultant. Yeah, my question is for the AI, does it matter? If I use tech consultant or tech business for this, where's my mouse here? I don't know, is the honest answer. Okay, whatever. We're going to do tech business. So when you're creating, so I went through this kind of before in the past a little bit, a long time ago, but it was in a different state. So again, it's going to be different here in Texas, but I don't know if using the Zen Business registered agent is better or if I should find my own. Okay, I'm going to find my own, which we'll do after this. Yeah, so that's a note that I need to find a registered agent after this because I don't want to spend that much. I'd rather do it cheaper if I can, considering I'm not even launching permanently yet. Cool. So different packages. Again, all the companies that do LLC formations are going to offer this. I don't need any of this because I already have a domain, email, and website, and I don't want them to contact me with their nonsense. Okay, I don't actually need any of this, and I don't care if it's 7 or 10 days because I'm not doing anything yet anyway. So we're going to start with the free one, and I will get an EIN. So note is, I'm not even going to send this. To do registered agent and EIN. The hell is that? Add note to add task to follow up registered agent in Texas and what was the other thing? EIN. Already forgetting. What is whatever, it's in the search, I'll be fine. It doesn't seem like I have to have one to get started. Okay, it's a zero cost. I don't know why it says it's $200 ongoing compliance here. Is operating agreement. This might just be like a contract. Cool. Don't need one. Stainless starter. Awesome. Good Lord. Oh, it's free. All right. No, I don't need that. No. EIN. Okay, it's free. Yep. Okay, cool. We're not doing that. I did this in the past, and there was a charge, a monthly charge to the account. Yeah, I definitely don't want that. And I know in the past I had to... Okay, I'm not spending any money. I'm not putting any money in here either. This is coming out of my personal accounts. I will set up a business account later when I need it. I wasted money last time I was creating one for doing stuff like this. Best free business bank account. Yeah, I set up a Bank of America last time. Again, $16 a month. Didn't matter too much, but I had to keep topping it up because I just didn't have any money going in it. Cool. 0% monthly fee. Perfect. That's exactly what I want. No, thank you. No, no, no. No rush filing. No. Yeah, so all these will offer a bunch of free like upsells essentially. The Texas state filing fee, I'm going to have to file. Cool. One-time fee. Might have to pay this. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, this is the Texas state filing fee. I just do it one time. Looks like I don't have to do it again. LLC, Texas. Okay, this is all stuff that's getting blacked out in the video. Hold on. So it's also getting blacked out. So I had just while I do this, I had a really fun experience recently where some dumbass decided to use my card, my debit card. I have no idea where they got this information. Although I suspect it was me buying flip-flops from a shady site. which turned out not to be real. So that's fun. And then I had a $200 charge on my debit card. I reported it to my bank, and of course they canceled my debit card immediately, and I'm still waiting for a new one. And so all of my accounts have bounced, which is so much fun for renewing things like Netflix and all these other subscriptions, which were coming out of that account. Definitely recommend, if you're doing this, to have some credit card or something that these payments come out of in the future, just separated for the business, which I'll do, just not yet. I'm trying to keep costs as low as possible. God, I better not forget to change that or block it out in the video. Holy hell, that'll be a problem. All right, let's see what upsells they're going to try and give me here. No. No, AI is so much more useful than all this crap. If you have the money, do it, I guess. For me, not too relevant right now. Is the mailing address the okay, this is gonna be my address. I'm gonna gray this out too. This is so much different to the one I did last time. I don't remember which site it was. I think it's been bought out. I think I used LegalZoom actually last time, which is a different company. Hold on. I don't know what that +4 is. Get out of here. Okay. I need to find a registered agent, which we'll, I guess, do now. All right, fine. All right, cool. So, I'm probably just, rather than like blurring stuff out and risking someone seeing it, where we are now is I'm just going to cut the video. What I was doing a minute ago, because it shows a lot of like personal information, shows like date of birth, credit card info, um, addresses, phone numbers, social security stuff. I don't even think it asked for that actually. But it was a lot of personal information. So I'm probably going to cut out like the last 5 minutes. If you're doing this yourself, it's really not that hard to do. You just go through, if you're doing in Texas where you need it, where you get a registered agent, it's like $35 a year, super cheap to do. And you use that address for your business instead of your own. That way people don't know where I personally live. If I move, I don't have to update that either because it's all going to the registered agent instead. Again, I may be making mistakes. Probably talk to someone later if this goes anywhere, which obviously I hope it does, or I wouldn't be wasting time doing it. And yeah, that's what I've done. So I've set up the business, the LLC, which will take 7 to 10 days, it says, because it's processing. Completely fine with that. I still need to finish building tools and getting outreach stuff going to find customers. I set up the LLC, and then I got the registered agent as well, which I'm using the address for. And now I'm getting a EIN for my company. So that's the employer identification number, EIN. Okay, cool. So here's what we've done so far. I'm going to have to clearly cut some more out of that. Again, personal information shown, addresses, and nonsense that the internet doesn't need to have forever, as it always does. For the EIN, it just asks for a bunch of information about the business, where it's located, and such. For sending me things, I'm doing the entire process online, which it gave me the info a second ago. All that you've missed is me adding my personal info, which again, you don't need to see. And apart from that, everything I think is good to go. Awesome. What are we doing next? Just adding notes here to cut personal info out for the LLC. Registered agent address I get to cut out too, and the EIN personal info. Awesome. We get to cut that out. I think that's it. What else? So here's what I can do now. I will show you. So this is the website that I have currently that I kind of put together. I think it's a fun one. Yeah, that's going to show a lot of the projects I'm working on. Everything here is going to be part of Building Capital Group, which is the company that I use to form the business. So Building Capital Group is the name of the business. As it says here, technology designed to solve real business challenges. I'm happy with this. I don't like the projects page. I need to work on this. So I'll probably improve on this. Essentially, what I'm doing is I'm going to create a bunch of apps that I've created, and I need to link them to this site here. I don't like the layout though. The blog hasn't been published, anything here yet, and contact information, that's not right. Actually it is, doesn't matter. That works also. And then you could send your messages directly to me as well. Cool. So what have we done? We've set up the business entity. We got the registered agent stuff going. And then we got the EIN as well. I think for getting the business set up, everything's done. As it says down here, all the stuff's right. I need to work on this page. So I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the video here, and we're going to see what I need to work on next, probably for the next video. I'm actually curious if I have a YouTube set up for this. Okay. I do have a YouTube set up with this. Still trying to figure out which way to structure videos. If I'm going to do stuff myself or do it as starting this company, which will be here, or if I'm going to have all my stuff put in my own personal name and then I have all my... and then have all my videos go to building capital group, which is this. Let me see if I even set that up. Right. Easy enough. I know that you can't create so if you're building a YouTube channel in the future, one thing I'd recommend is you need to have it set up and have, I think, at least one payment go out before Google lets you create a YouTube channel using that email address. And then, because they don't want people just creating a million of these and like spamming the site. I don't know exactly what's going here, if it's going to be off of Brandon Chronis, which is my personal one, or if it's going to be off the business site. I'm probably going to link everything to the business site and have everything go here rather than linking it to my own name. I think there's going to be so much cross between the two. It doesn't really matter which one it's going to. And I kind of like the name Building Capital Group anyway, just because it's going to be a group of kind of everything I'm working on. So we're going to have YouTube videos going here. We're going to have interviews going here. We're going to have product reviews going here as well. Again, that's just kind of going to be the entity that I'm using for everything. So everything's going to be located here on this YouTube. Everything, just trying to think if there's anything I'm missing. Yeah, give it a bit before I can set everything up properly. But yeah, this is where videos are going to be posted for the time being. Then I don't have to use my personal name, which is fun. And that's fun. I got a lot of businesses I want to go, a lot of things I want to do with this. So I'm pretty excited. Hopefully this first video, even though it's probably going to be kind of boring, I guess, in addition to creating the business and all that stuff, we set up the YouTube and I set up the stream. So maybe this is interesting. Again, this is just going to be a running, more like a vlog, I guess, of everything I'm doing to get the business going. We'll start looking at cool tools I'm using to reach out to companies, but I've already created an account for a lot of the partners and affiliates I'm working on. We'll start doing product reviews and demos as we go. Probably going to pre-record as much as possible so that I don't have to do something every day. Rather, I can spend the weekend pre-recording videos that I'm going to post on this channel later, and then have them scheduled to be released at certain times. Yeah, let me know what you think. These first few videos, like I said originally, it's going to be a running, more like a vlog where stuff's just going to be coming out as it comes out. I work a full-time job also. I do a lot of different projects, and going to be, yeah. Sorry, everything seems, there's so much. When I was starting this, I was thinking, oh, it's going to be so easy. I'll just kind of hit the ground running. And now that I do it, I'm like, oh yeah, there's so much nuance to all of it. Hopefully this is interesting to you. I'd like to be able to say this is where I started and here's the first video I used to record everything, versus wherever I am in, 6 days, 6 months, 6 years, whatever the time period is. Hopefully everything works out. Yeah, really excited. Anyway, as always, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully it's interesting, even with the cuts I'm going to have to put in. I just want people to be able to follow this in case they want to start something themselves in the future. If you have questions regarding any sales stuff or technology as a whole, that'll be coming in the future. I just need to plan out exactly what I'm going to be doing, and then I'll start recording videos on it. As I said originally, sales is changing a lot, and I'm not the biggest fan of what sales is turning into personally, especially with companies. Like I said originally, not training their staff. I think that's a huge problem. So probably see sales videos coming here also. Ton of content we can do with this. It'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, I guess with that, thank you. If you've watched, I'm expecting to get 2 or 3 views on this, which would be stellar. It's always fun to do an hour and 10-minute recording that you get 1 or 2 views on, but that's how it is. So yeah, everyone, thank you. Time to cut down the video, and then I'll get this posted now. There will be no consistency with the videos for the time being, but again, just come reference this if you want to start a business in the future. And if you have any questions, business related, tech related, anything like that, I can waffle on for hours and hours into that. This stuff is much newer to me, even though, again, I've done it once before. It's been a while. So yeah, looking forward to going through this process with you, and really excited. We'll look through some of the apps and tools I've built in the past, and we'll start logging them here. But yeah, I think I've probably repeated myself about 5 times. And anyway, hope the video is interesting to you guys. I'll talk to you all later. See ya.